Good morning, everyone, and it is 10 o'clock, and I welcome you to the Board of Fire Commissioners. Today's date is July 2nd, and it is time for the salute to the flag. If Commissioner Garcia could please lead us.
Please join me in the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll now move to the roll call. Madam Clerk.
Alexis Hill, Chair.
Here.
Jean Herman, Vice Chair.
Here.
Mike Clark.
Present.
Mariluz Garcia.
Here.
Clara Andriola.
Present.
Fire Chief Charles Moore.
Present.
Our DA today is Mike Large.
Present.
And I'm Jan Galasini, your County Clerk. Madam, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We'll now move on to item 3, public comment. Chief Moore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 3, public comment. Comment heard under this item will be limited to 3 minutes per person and may pertain to matters both on and off the Board of Fire Commissioners' agenda. The district will also hear public comment during individual action items with comment limited to 3 minutes per person. Comments are to be made to the Board of Fire Commissioners as a whole.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk.
First up, we have Alan Kosalova, followed by Drew Rubar.
Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for your time. I bring up a concern that, not sure if it's the fire department, the board, Public Works, or if the commission's even aware of it. There's a retention pond in the Spanish Springs area. It's bordered on the east side by Landstar, on the north side by Iron King, and on the west side by Arc Dome. There's a lot of dry vegetation in there. There's a lot of new homes that have been built up against that retention pond area. And there's, like I say, a lot of dry vegetation in there. Some of it's fairly tall, and I'm worried that with all the heat, future issues, winds, especially the east winds or the winds that blow to the east, through that, there's a lot of homes that could be affected by that. And I was just hoping that maybe the board, the fire department, the Public Works, whoever would be able to work on that, could take care of maybe somehow mitigating any fire issues in that area. I appreciate all your concerns, appreciate your looking into this, and I appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you. And Chief, is that something that you and your team can look into?
We can certainly take a look at it, and if it's on private property, we can engage with the homeowner. If it's county property, we can just take care of it.
Okay. Thank you for addressing that to the board.
Next up, we have Drew Rubar.
Good morning, Drew Rebar. For the record, y'all know I'm suing you now. It's sad, it really is. Our elections should have integrity. For those of you in the audience who don't know, my name is Drew Rebar. I was a candidate for Assembly District 40. Washoe County failed to put my name on the sample ballot, so I sued them. I think you guys have got some bad legal advice from your attorney that was up there before. I talked to Assemblyman Ken Gray, who used to be the chairman of Lyon County, and the advice you guys got before you voted to approve the canvassing was it's just a matter of course. Well, according to Assemblyman Ken Gray, who used to be the chairman of Lyon County, there's precedent. Lyon County they turned down the canvassing before. You guys could have turned it down. So my question to all of you is, why don't you want our elections to be transparent? During the recount on Sunday that started, I went in there and there was resistance to even letting me go in and observe. The attorney that was doing it, I don't want to mention names, but the attorney that you got that was in charge of it was denying media access, freedom of the press. I don't think in the history of Nevada the press has been denied access to election counts and watching things and making sure things are going right. She even tried to deny another attorney that had to argue with her to get in to observe. You guys turn the cameras off in the recount, so the public couldn't observe. Why does Washoe County want to hide what's going on with this election? I mean, there are so many errors. My name was left off a ballot. On the Republican sample ballot, Washoe County replaced the Republican candidate with Democrat candidates. Is that to confuse the public and to give Democrats an advantage over the Republicans coming in the general election? Why are we so screwed up? Can you guys please do something to fix the problem? Should our elections have this many questions? Should the public not trust the system? When I go out and knock on doors, talk to people, trying to garner votes, people aren't voting because they don't trust the system. The 5 of you up there, you've got the power to fix it. Please fix it. Thank you. Drew Rebar.
There's nobody else signed in.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll now move on to item 4, Chief Moore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 4 is Commissioners' Fire Chiefs announcements, requests for information, topics for future agendas, and statements relating to items not on the agenda. No discussion among commissioners will take place on this item.
Thank you. I have Commissioner Clark signed in.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to talk about a special meeting that was supposed to be held today. Last week, we got a notice that we had a special meeting. Drop whatever you're doing, rearrange your schedule, cancel appointments, figure out a way to be here at 8 o'clock this morning. And then yesterday at 4 o'clock, I get a phone call that says the special meeting that was supposed to be held here this morning was canceled. I asked why. I was told they didn't know why. So this is just another example to kind of piggyback on what Mr. Rebar was just saying. You know, the county, many people in the county don't trust the process that's taking place around here. Don't trust it. So the county, in their infinite wisdom, draws even more attention to themselves, calls a meeting, sends out notices, and then abruptly cancels it with no good reason. Nobody's told me what the reason is. Many people, not all people, but many people don't trust the process as it is, so the county draws attention to themselves. This is akin to somebody going and driving as fast as they can in front of a highway patrolman or local police, drawing attention to yourself, making things worse. This would be like a pyromaniac starting a fire in front of a fire marshal. You're being watched. Why do you continue to do things that draw attention to yourselves and to make you look silly? This is absolutely incompetent on what's taking place on the Register of Voters. So I know the people over there are working hard, and everybody likes to compliment them, and I'll do that as well. But I'm blaming the county manager and his ineptitude and his incompetence and continuing to draw attention to mismanagement here. This is outrageous. And all the while patting yourselves on the back and telling everybody what a great job you're doing. I'm surprised you don't have tennis elbow from constantly patting yourself on the back. This is outrageous.
Commissioner Andriello, do you have anything? Commissioner Garcia? Vice Chair Herman? Okay. I just have a note of thank you. Since our last meeting, the Truckee Meadows Fire team has been very busy fighting fires throughout our community, the Trail Fire, the Sullivan Fire, Ironwood, and as many other small fires throughout our community. And I just want to express my gratitude to our incredible team, and thank you so much for keeping this community safe and saving structures and supporting the goals of the fire district. So wanted to pass on those thanks. And Chief, do you have anything for us?
I do. Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, we're heading into 4th of July, and speaking of wildfire, of course, we're on heightened awareness. Want to make a plea to our citizens and to our homeowners to be very, very safe. Obviously, fireworks are prohibited unless you're in Pyramid Lake and have a permit from the tribe. But everywhere else, they're strictly prohibited. Conditions are so dry that it's not even going to take much. I mean, a lawnmower hitting a rock could spark a fire, and I've seen it happen. So we want people to have fun. It's a great time to celebrate our nation's birthday, but nevertheless, we're extremely dry, And so we plead and ask our citizens to be extra vigilant. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We'll now move on to our consent items. Item 5, do any board members have questions on A, B, or C? I'm not seeing anyone that does. Madam Clerk, is there any public comment on consent?
There is not.
Okay. With that, I am looking for a motion from the board on our consent items.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner
Second.
Garcia. Thank you, Vice Chair Herman. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say nay. And that motion passes. We'll now move on to item 6. Chief Moore.
Madam Chair, item 6 is the International Association of Firefighters Local 2487 report.
Good morning, Jim Clauser, President, Local 2487. Happy early 4th of July to everybody. My PSA for the group would be, and for the public, reminder, take care of your dogs, please, as it gets closer to the evening time. I'm sure Washoe County Animal Control is going to make some similar statement, but it also affects us as we're out trying to do what we do. If dogs are out in the neighborhood running loose, they are terrified by fireworks. It makes our job harder. It causes more accidents, not just dog bites, but people hitting dogs, right? So please, please, please put your pets indoors or take care of your beloved pets. I'd like to use the rest of my time to introduce our Truckee Meadows Firefighter Foundation President, Alex Dorr. And he has just some gifts for you, if you don't mind accepting some mugs. Yeah. And he's here to talk about the foundation and the works that they do.
Wonderful. Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning. Alex Dorr, for the record, President of the Truckee Meadows Firefighters Foundation. Just wanted to come introduce ourselves, show you some of the other parts of things with our Truckee Meadows employees, members of our Local 2487 that you may or may not be aware of. Background on us real quick, began in 2014 as the current configuration. Began with a tragedy. One of our employees will be forever wheelchair bound. Out of that negative came a positive of how do we give back to not only our local members, their families, but how do we reach out to other first responders, not even just located in this area, but all across the country when we find out things. We also have a huge community involvement, more notably some of the things that we've done recently. We had a constituent in Sparks that was going to lose her home. The insurance company was going to be dropped if she didn't clean up her yard and a bunch of other things. We were able to, with coordination with our local City of Sparks and their local and our Wildland Fuels Division within Truckee Meadows, we were able to come up with a plan. We were able to get the personnel involved. Within about 45 minutes, we filled a 30-yard dumpster. We pruned and chipped probably 20, 30 yards of material, removed that all for her in about 45 minutes. So
Amazing.
these are just some of the things that we're doing, not only fire suppression, 911 calls, and everything else that we are tasked with within the confines of Truckee Meadows, but these are what our firefighters are doing on their days off. We're giving back to the community in every way that we can, whether that's monetary donations, putting in elbow grease to facilitate whatever they need. So as we hear about things within our community, people losing their houses, falling on hard times, things like that, the foundation is there to provide aid if we need it. So that's what we are here to just highlight and just say hello to everybody. And I have a few gifts, if you would allow me to come behind there. I got one for each of you.
Oh, thank you very much. To the board, any comments or questions? I'm not seeing any. How did you do on the raffle? I know you're not in front of the mic. I was just curious.
So we, fortunately, we've been lucky enough to be a part of the 50-50 raffle with the rodeo for the last couple of years. This year, on our night, we raised $21,350.
Amazing.
So we'll take about 10.5 of that. All of the money raised into our foundation goes right back out, essentially. We have almost zero overhead. That money is intended for first responders, their family members, community members, all of those things. We don't hold on to any of it, so we're constantly fundraising, but that money is going right out the door. So that 10.5 is very, very appreciated, and we're going to be able to do a lot of amazing things with that.
Wow, well, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for being part of our community. Not only
Yeah,
do you
appreciate it.
serve for TM, but you serve the greater community, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
A lot of our members, we have a sense of pride, and it's very beneficial to us to, be giving back in that way. So, yeah, it's a labor of love, I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah. Got a couple gifts and then.
Yes,
that's all
thank
I
you
got.
so much.
There's a couple different colors, so feel free to, if you don't like that one, you're given. Yeah.
When's your next event?
Man, probably in the fall, would be a pickleball tournament. more than likely.
Yeah, I went last year.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you, Alex.
No problem. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We appreciate all your work. We'll now
Thank you.
move on to item 7, Chief Moore.
Madam Chair, item 7 is a recommendation to approve a master service agreement with Liberty Utilities for the purpose of elimination of wild land fire hazard, related hazardous fuels and standby services to be paid to Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District on a time and materials basis, which includes personnel and equipment use costs and an estimated amount of up to $300,000 per year effective July 2nd, 2024, to October 15th, 2027. The board may recall that we do the same thing for NV Energy. Liberty Utilities, which operates a smaller utility in Washoe County, has decided that this is a good thing to do for the community, and so they've contracted with us. We have all the resources, and we'll do some good work for them. Our crews work very, very fast.
Are there any board questions on this item? I'm not seeing any. Any public comment, Madam Clerk?
There's none.
Okay, if there's not any questions or comments, I'm looking for a motion on item 7,
I'll move
please.
to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Andriola.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Garcia. Any questions on the motion from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say nay. And that motion passes unanimously. We'll now move on to item 8, Chief Moore.
Item 8 is a recommendation to approve a new collective bargaining agreement between the Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District and the Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District Firefighters Association, IAFF Local 2487 Wildland Unit, for a 4-year term effective July 1, 2024, and if approved, authorize the chair to sign on behalf of the board. This is one of 3 groups bargaining units that we have within the local, and this specifically applies to the wildland firefighters.
Okay.
It has been ratified by them, and so all we need is the board to approve.
All right. Any board comments or questions? I'm not seeing any. Good work from the team. Thank you so much. And Madam Clerk, any public comment?
There is none.
Thank you. Looking for a motion on item 8.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the collective bargaining agreement as outlined in item 8.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Garcia, and seconded by Vice Chair Herman. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, that motion passes unanimously. Item 9, Chief Moore.
Item 9 is a recommendation to approve a 3.75 cost of living adjustment effective July 1, 2024 for unclassified, non-represented, confidential, and administrative employees that follow the Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District supervisory collective bargaining. Carla, if the board wants a presentation, I'll ask Carla to give this to you. If not, it's fairly straightforward.
I'm looking to the board, not seeing anyone needing a presentation, although we love to talk to you, Carla. So if folks don't have any questions or comments, Madam Clerk, is there any public comment?
There's none.
Okay, with that, I'm looking for a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Herman.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Garcia. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. And that motion passes unanimously. We'll now move on to item 10, Chief Moore.
Item 10 is a recommendation to approve amendment number 7 to the employment agreement between Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District and Charles A. Moore Fire Chief, which amends the term of the agreement and includes a provision for a payout of vacation leave hours at the conclusion of the pay period encompassing December 31st for an approximate cost of $21,700. I'm asking the board to extend my contract into January. The reasons for that will become clear here in a moment. But the amount of the payoff is really would be due, largely due at the end of the current agreement anyway. So this just allows me to carry this over into the payout into a new tax year.
Great. Looking to the board to see if folks have any questions or comments on this item. I'm not seeing any. Madam Clerk, any public comment?
There's none.
Okay. With that, I am looking for a motion on item 10.
I'll move to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Andriola.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Garcia. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. And that passes unanimously. We'll now move on to item 11, our chief report. Chief Moore.
Item 11 is the fire chief's report. I have a couple of agenda items that are not listed here, but I want to introduce to you Mr. Nick Claich, who is the new chief and in charge of the hazmat program that the City of Reno, City of Sparks, and TM comprise to our local hazmat team. And I mentioned Nick was the candidate overwhelming favorite, and I wanted to introduce him to you. And we're very, very pleased that he's going to lead the hazmat team. And his knowledge of hazmat is beyond encyclopedic in volume. So,
well, thank you, Chief. My name is Nick Leach. Just wanted to give you guys a quick just background on me. I've been a 20-year employee with the City of Sparks Fire Department. I'm born and raised in Reno, Nevada. I've got strong family ties here. Before I worked for the fire department, I was a REMSA employee, so I was kind of homegrown throughout my entire emergency services career. And last years, I've been 8 years as a captain with the Sparks Fire Department. I've been leading our hazmat team in that role, kind of doing two jobs. And this appointment will allow me to direct all of my attention towards our team and improving the safety for our area. So just to give you some highlights, our team at its strongest point about 4 years ago had 90 hazmat technicians, and as Chief Moore indicated, that's shared between the Sparks Fire Department, Truckee Meadows, and the City of Reno, and that allows us to get the best response model because we have a lot of expensive equipment and training, and we can share those costs. Bringing in outside educators was extremely expensive for us, and this was a way to offset that cost to where we can provide a minimum of 12 different trainings a year to our technicians, but also provide training to our battalion chiefs and also all of our operations level folks. So every fire truck that's on the street, ladder company, ambulance will also be receiving additional training annually. So we have a lot of big items that are going to be coming. I'll hopefully be able to do some presentations with Chief Moore as we hit some of those benchmarks and be able to improve our safety model for our area. So I can answer any questions you guys have about me or our programs or...
Well, welcome to this regional team. We're
Thank
so
you.
excited to have you here. And I don't know if you heard about it, but the board talked you up big time. And so it's nice to finally meet you.
Well, thank
And
you.
Thank you for bringing your expertise to our region, and can't wait to hear about more of the good work that you're going to do. Looking to the board to see if there's any questions or comments. Okay.
Well, I appreciate your comments, and I will go on the record and say our team is the heavy lifting model of this entire program. So I definitely want to give credit to all of our hazmat technicians. They are out there on the front lines 24 hours a day providing safety for the community, and I'm mostly going to augment them. So they get the credit due, and I appreciate your comments. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank
All right.
you.
Bye-bye.
Chief, back to you.
And we are about to enter into fire restrictions. I believe BLM has already done them, and Forest Service, I think, will announce those today. So if I may ask Brett Taylor to come to the podium and let you know what that means, because I believe TM will shortly follow those fire restrictions, which will have impacts on the 4th of July holiday for our citizens as they camp out in county parks and whatnot.
Great. Welcome.
Thanks. Thank you, Chief. Brett Taylor for the record. So Forest Service and BLM and the state have all went into fire restrictions starting on the 1st of July. Because we have such a patchwork of jurisdiction, and to have a clear, consistent message across our jurisdiction and all the other land that is within our response area. We'll probably follow suit. What the restrictions look like is all campfires, fireworks, and all those things are prohibited. The only real difference is on Forest Service land. They allow campfires in improved camp areas. Understand that's an inconvenience for the recreating public out there, but as Chief mentioned, the fine dead fuel moistures and our fire activity is increased in this early part of the season. We're about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of where we would normally be in any other fire season, which is different from the last few years of fire activity we've seen. So what that looks like for Truckee Meadows is that we ask the recreating public to obviously be safe and sane with all of their fireworks. Do not, they're prohibited with campfires on private land and public land. That those are prohibited unless you're in an improved camp area. And then welding and those other activities are done not between the hours of 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. To restrict those work activities, not during that hot and high temp, dry part of the day. Any questions on that?
Looking to the board to see if folks have any questions on that. I was just hoping, are we putting that out on social media? Okay.
Yes, there will be a
Great.
press release. I think we're just finalizing that press release. It should be out probably today.
Great. Well, thank you for your work on that, and we'll make sure to spread the word.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, next we'd like to give you a report on the Trail, Sullivan, and Ironwood fires, which have been our 3 largest fires here within the last couple of weeks, and Chief Joe Shum. We'll go through each. We came awfully close to homes, but nevertheless, the point protection of fire engines and defensible space helped us in that regard.
All right, good morning. For the record, Joe Shum, Division Chief of Truckee Meadows Fire. We'll give you a little rundown of those 3 fires and just a general glance at things. So on Tuesday, July 11th, about 3 in the afternoon is when the trail fire broke out up near Red Rock Road and Old Virginia Street. We had cooperators from 18 different agencies that responded to make sure that we halted the fire's progress. That included our law enforcement partners, NV Energy, Washoe County School District. They provided us a place for the command post, emergency management, and emergency responders from the entire region, Reno, Sparks, Carson City, as far away as South Lake Tahoe, sent units to help make sure that we halted the fire. It was 198 acres when all said and done. When we gained the upper hand, it was about 9 p.m. We remained on scene with the city of Reno off and on because the land was shared between us and the city of Reno through the 15th. So an extra 4 days to make sure that we made it through the hot, dry weather. Almost concurrently, as we brought forward progress under control for the trail fires when the Sullivan fire broke out over near Hug High. That fire was 138 acres, and again, the same cooperators responded. Some of the same resources released from one fire and went to the other. Sparks was the primary agency responsible, and Truckee Meadows assisted in the command post with directing resources. And they stayed again through Saturday to make sure there were no hot spots. That same week, it should be noted that there was a fire alarm along State Route 447 between Wadsworth and Nixon. That one was brought under control, and another one northbound 395 near Red Rock on the California side at the north entrance. So there's been several severe fires already in the region. Then on Friday, June 21st, again at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the Ironwood fire broke out. Again, a swift response from our regional partners. Aircraft was involved in all of these fires, in the trail fire and in the Ironwood fire. Nothing on the Sullivan fire was at night. They don't fly at night. So that fire, the Ironwood fire, was 164 acres. Ground resources and air resources brought the fire's progress to a halt. We remained on scene for the 2 days after that, again, mopping up and following hotspots. Thankfully, in all of these fires, there were only a total of 3 outbuildings damaged or destroyed. There were no primary residences damaged. There was no reported damage to our equipment or injuries to our personnel or citizens. So we tout that as a success, given how rapidly they expanded and how difficult they were to put out because it was hot and windy. So the summer's shaping up to be pretty busy. We got a lot of holdover fuels. The weather's cooperating with that, if you want to say that, cooperating. The hot, dry, windy conditions that we've already experienced has made us busier than we were all of last year and the previous year, and it's only the beginning of July. The nation is starting to see the uptick in fires as well. The preparedness level and the drawdown of resources is occurring to the extent that we're borrowing folks from other regions of the country to share across everywhere from Arizona, New Mexico, all the way up to Alaska. We have folks in Alaska today to help them. So I would like to say that we are bracing, we're prepared, we're fully staffed. We are upstaffing on the critical weather days, red flag days, July 4th, where we will have extra engines on board as well as the dozer staffed, because that bulldozer really helps us kind of cut those fire breaks, and we're as ready as we can be.
Wow, well, incredible work to you and your team. I was just curious on the communication side. I know Perimeter, we're using it now real time. I don't know if this is the first time or we've been using it in smaller incidences, but how's that working?
I'll say our experience with Perimeter thus far on the Trail Fire, Sullivan Fire, and on the Ironwood Fire worked very well. The communications between the folks in the field that were able to draw those initial polygons and get them over to emergency management so that they could coordinate the messaging and get folks evacuated worked very well. We're still working out little operational kinks here and there, as we can't predict every hiccup we're going to have, but it is working very well for us in coordinating between the fire agencies, law enforcement, and emergency manager.
Great news. Looking to the board. Yes, Commissioner Garcia.
Thank you so much. It was election night. I was refreshing the results, staring at this fire coming to my front door, and I have such a tremendous appreciation for the quick response, the agencies coming together. I mean, it was a little unnerving to see it get that close, and you'd see, it get knocked down, and then you'd see something flare up, and it was just very just eye-opening. So I just wanted to start off by saying thank you. Many of my constituents, there was some rumors floating around, and I just wanted to verify, was the Sullivan Fire an encampment that, was it human-caused encampment that started that fire? If you could answer that question, that would be helpful. Some of my constituents
Yeah,
were asking.
I'll let Chief Wade speak to that. But
Okay.
yeah, the men and women that were out there fighting those fires did a tremendous job.
Yeah.
They missed meals.
Yeah,
They slept in the dirt. They did a lot of hard work. So the credit goes to them.
great.
Good morning, Dale Wade, Deputy Fire Chief. On the Sullivan Fire, it was determined that it looks like it started from an encampment that was there. It would still be classified more than likely as an accidental fire. We were working with the sheriff's office to track down the people through their homeless unit.
Okay.
And I don't know that that's been accomplished at this time.
So we have not made contact with the individuals. Were they deemed safe at the time, or?
I'm sorry, as far as safe, the people were not harmed or
Okay.
injured in the fire. No one was.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know too.
And
Thank
just as
you.
another quick follow-up, the trail fire is still listed as undetermined. NV Energy sent in an investigation team, actually, and as of last week, still had not located anything. Our cause was undetermined and will remain so, pending any further information.
And I was using the real time, so I appreciate your question on the communication piece. We all hopped online. There was a little bit of a lag on understanding which actual neighborhood was going to be evacuated. There was concerns. I'm in Falcon Ridge, then there's folks south of me, and then the people right directly behind Hug High. So when the evacuation call went out, we weren't sure exactly what neighborhood they were referring to, but then within probably 15 minutes, it was refreshed, and then we got the accurate information out. So that tool was very helpful. So I just wanted to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other board members? Yes, Vice Chair Herman.
I just want to thank you. It was a miracle how fast the Ironwood fire got out. It was just amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much for all your hard work.
And looking to the rest of the board? Okay, well, we really appreciate you and your team and looking forward to supporting you how we can through this tough season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And while Chief Shum is at the podium, he's going to explain our adverse weather plan, which we used to call the lightning plan. And if you've lived here long enough, you know what kind of lightning storms we can get. But nevertheless, we're modifying this to include other weather events. So we'd like to explain that to you. So when I text you, we're in an adverse weather plan, you get a sense of what we're dealing with.
Yeah, so this is a plan that's been in place for a number of years. Like Chief Moore said, it was known as the Lightning Action Plan, primarily used when we had the lightning storms come through. Operationally, over the years, we've discovered that it's useful in other times of the year when we get really busy, whether it's a wind event, flooding, snowstorms, what have you. So we have revised that through dispatch and through our internal processes to encompass all hazardous weather situations. The intent of the plan is when we start to reach drawdown where we can't really effectively send 4 or 5 engines to a given report of smoke or to a flooding condition that we normally would under normal circumstances, we pull back and everybody monitors their radio. The battalion chiefs become the conductor of the orchestra, moving resources around to ensure district coverage, and then sending single units out to the kind of low acuity reports until something is determined to be more exigent. So we use it, like I said, we'll use it during flooding, we'll use it during lightning, we'll use it during wind events when we need to kind of coordinate and cooperate without traipsing all over the district with our normal response pattern.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Item 3 is a capital projects update. The permit has been submitted to Washoe County for Hidden Valley. We had a very good meeting with the executive director of the State Investment Bank. In fact, they've asked for a presentation. And
Yay!
We'll give that to them July 23rd. They like to do this in 2 segments. The presentation, and they'll act on the final application in September, which is timely because we expect to start demolition and utility relocates in September. And then in the meantime, we'll be negotiating with the contractor for a guaranteed maximum price, which means that they send out the plans to their subcontractors. We get the price back and bring it to the board for determination to move forward. So I fully expect that we'll be breaking ground on that station by the latter half of September.
Wow, great news.
It's been a long time coming, and I'm anxious to see that station. Commissioner Andriole actually toured that station, and I think she saw firsthand of just how small that station is and how difficult it is to put a fire truck into that bay. And then finally, item 4, fire regionalization and consolidation. The city of Reno requested staff from Washoe County, from TM, from the city of Sparks to have a meeting to discuss possibility of regionalizing fire. There was just a broad discussion about it, a possible BDR request on behalf of the city of Reno. I don't really have any specific things to bring to you other than I know that they may ask for another meeting perhaps. And if they do, we'll attend for information and bring that back to you so that you understand what the issue is, of course, and you can direct staff on its participation, if any, going forward. So we just wanted to be transparent with you that the staff has been requested and county staff is assisting as well.
Great, thanks for keeping us updated on that. Any questions for the chair on those, that matter, or any others? I'm not seeing any.
And finally, if you put a photograph up for me, Crystal, please. This is an oldie but goodie, but anybody that ever sees this photograph and looks at me and looks at the photograph and looks back at me, their one question is, what the heck happened to you, Chief? Well, what happened is 44 years in the fire service, and starting in November, it will be 45 years for me, and so I've determined that at the end of this contract period, I'd like to retire. And it's been a great career.
You've been an incredible public servant for Washoe County and built this fire service team and the commission district. And I can't say enough about your service and your leadership in the region. And thank you so much.
In the next coming months, we'll bring back a transition plan for the leadership. I think we're well prepared to begin a transition and carry forward the good work that TM employees do for you into the future. We've accomplished so much in 12 years. I'm very, very proud of what we've all done as a team, board included, the employees of TM, and its leadership team.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible what you've done. Board comments? Vice Chair Herman, do you have anything?
If my voice lasts, I just, you're going to be very missed. And
Thank you.
yeah.
Any other board comments? Well, Chief, we'll have to do something special for you at your last meeting, and we need to do a nice press release so the community understands and can celebrate your service. And so we'll work together on those next steps. And I'm excited for you and your family because retirement sounds pretty great sometimes to me.
Well, the trouble is that the honey-do list that my wife is preparing is
Pretty long.
growing by the day.
Exactly.
But nevertheless, I'll stay busy, and I'll be actively watching TM going into the future. But I'm so proud of what the employees have accomplished. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, with that, we're going to have a closed session, but we'll do that after we adjourn, and we'll do public comment up at the closed session if folks have public comment during that. So we'll now move on to item 13, Chief Moore.
Item 13 is Commissioners, Fire Chiefs announcements, requests for information, topics for future agendas, and statements relating to items not on the agenda.
Okay, do you have anything else for us, Chief?
I do not, Madam
Oh
Chair.
my gosh, what a day of reports. Commissioner Clark, do you have anything?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Congratulations on your future retirement, Chief
Thank you,
Moore.
Commissioner.
Enjoy that. Thank you.
Commissioner Andriola?
Well, obviously, I think it's, amazing. I wanted to know what happened to the dog. I mean.
Well, it actually bit somebody in the park.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And so we had to find a home for it.
Oh, no. Who brought that up? I didn't know that, so hopefully it found a home and settled down. So anyway, but thank you so much for the opportunity to work with you. I obviously worked with you back at the Red Cross days, and it's been amazing to rekindle the professionalism that you bring, the caring of the community that you bring, and the tenacity you bring in terms of having a focus for achievement. I'm obviously thrilled with the Hidden Valley Fire Station, and so are the residents, and so is the entire community. It is really one of those unsung opportunities, because you really don't want things to happen, but knowing that you have led an incredible team of professionals to address those issues, whatever arises, in the promptness and the resources and everything. So honestly, I wasn't going to say anything because I don't want to get emotional, but I am going to just, from the bottom of my heart, I mean, I think you, the shoes that are going to have to be filled are huge. So I think the chair bringing up the not only press release but coordinating a celebration is greatly needed, and I think we're going to have to get a big room because that's how much thanks we all should be giving you. Thank you.
And I'm always up for a party.
Great, Commissioner Garcia.
You said 45 years.
45 years in the fire service. I started as soon as I got out of college as a volunteer in 1979, November of 79.
That's incredible. That's 4 Dalmatians, their lifespans. But the leadership that you've shown from those early stages, but to see and adjusting to a growing community, that says a lot about your leadership.
Thank you.
It hasn't been the same job, and you didn't start off working in the same conditions that you do today. And I really just commend you for being adaptable and meeting the needs of the community when we were there and at those moments where we were at. So congratulations. I'm looking forward to the party. So keep us all posted.
Thank you.
And Vice Chair Herman?
I said what I said.
Yes, yes. Great. We will now move on to item 14, our final public comment. Chief Moore, excuse me.
Public comment, item 14 is comment heard under this item will be limited to 3 minutes per person and may pertain to matters both on and off the Board of Fire Commissioners' agenda. The district will also hear public comment during individual action items with comment limited to 3 minutes per person. Comments are to be made to the Board of Fire Commissioners as a whole.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
There's nobody signed in.
Okay. Well, we will adjourn and then go upstairs for our closed session and do another public comment. Thank you, everyone, for a great meeting, and see you soon. We are adjourned.